You read about all these crazy shooters, but they only go after consequential presidents. They don't go after non-consequential presidents. So maybe I want to be a little bit less consequential.
So President Trump making some comments about this shooting at Mar-a-Lago, a security breach at his Florida home. The president thankfully was not there at the time. Investigators say that a man drove into the secure perimeter, with a gun and a gas can, and he refused to drop them and then raised the gun into a shooting position at a deputy and Secret Service agents. According to the security people on the ground there, they opened fire and he was killed in that moment. So White House correspondent Aisha Hasni joins us now, reporting from the North Lawn at the White House. Hi, Aisha.
Damn, there's still people out here trying to assassinate the president. And, you know, whether you agree or disagree with President Trump and how he's handling things for the American people in this country, you should know that the last president didn't do a damn thing but made this country worse in having the borders open and allowing so many people unvetted come into this country just so they can get their easy vote and stay in power. And I'm talking about the Democrats. But now that we have President Trump in and he's making some major changes that are really impacting the emotions of not just the American people, but everybody that's trying to get into this country from around the world. And it's upsetting people. I don't know what the exact reasons were for this man that came at Mar-a-Lago, not even knowing that Trump wasn't even there. So I don't know what his intentions or what his idea or his plans were, but he ended up getting himself killed. And these are the consequences that should happen when you're trying to assassinate anyone in this country. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments.
Situation has affected the president. He was sort of contemplating his own mortality today at the White House during an event honoring Laken Riley and other victims of illegal immigration crime. Listen to this moment here.
I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Huh? But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them.
So 21-year-old Austin Martin from North Carolina apparently walked right in through the north gate of the property at Mar-a-Lago as someone else was driving out. Here's what happened when officers tried to stop him.
They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those two pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position.
And that is when officers shot and killed him. The president remains a target of domestic and foreign threats. Remember, he is giving that big State of the Union address tomorrow at the U.S. Capitol, where just a couple of days ago, Martha, police arrested a man carrying a loaded gun. Republicans and even the president's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, blaming the threats to his life on hateful rhetoric coming from the left.
You have to ask yourself, whenever you just casually throw around terms like Nazi, like fascist, like Hitler and racist, what do you think the consequences of that ultimately will be? We are better than this as a country. And I'll tell you, as a family member, I keep wondering, how many chances does one man get?
So law enforcement are still trying to explore the motive why he walked into this property with the shotgun. The AP actually spoke to his cousin, who says he wasn't actually into politics and he didn't even know how to use a gun. Martha?
Aisha, thank you. Very disturbing situation.
Wow.
One more time, in terms of a threat to President Trump. So on a much happier note, President Trump was elated when he spoke with the U.S. hockey team last night. I think he spoke.
Thank you.
President Trump, on behalf of my family and I, thank you for hosting this beautiful remembrance in honor of our loved ones who were killed by illegal aliens. As you said, August the 3rd, 2014, my husband Javier, my son, Marine and Border Patrol Agent Javier Harvey Vega, his wife, Two of his sons and a friend and I were fishing in Santa Monica, Texas. Within minutes of settling in, we were ambushed by two illegal aliens with many priors. Without warning, they jumped out of their stolen vehicle with guns that were not supposed to be in their possession in an attempt to steal two four-wheel drive vehicles. While trying to defend us, Harvey was shot in the chest and killed. And Javier Sr. was shot in the back. Remember, y'all, children were there fishing with their friends, and they just kept shooting. You could hear the bullets just whizzing past you. Javier Sr. returned fire with this weapon, and I grabbed the AR that Harvey had attempted to defend us with, and I returned fire as well. Had we not fired back, they would have killed everyone there, including the children, so that there wouldn't be any witnesses. And they killed an amazing man, a loving and honorable dad and husband. Thank God we have you in office. Without you, America and the world would not know the consequences of open borders. Thank you for restoring law and order. Thank you for acknowledging us, the angel families. Every day I think of you and the heavy weight of a nation that you carry with you. I can't imagine what it must be like to wake up every morning, work so diligently amid attacks and resistance from the left, to deal with the craziness, the fraud, and the swamp. But you get it done day in and day out, all while finding solutions to making America great again. You absolutely amaze me. Please know that we see it, and we, the masses, your constituents, are behind you 100%. When you were elected the first time, for the first term as president, I remember saying to my boss, this is exactly what this country needed, a businessman. You did an outstanding job then, and although you were cheated out of the second term, by the way, you won that election as well, and we know it. I knew the third term was going to be epic, and here we are, MAGA. Before I end this, I have to share a sweet story with you about my daddy. He absolutely hated the way people treated you and attacked you. On your third run for office, he said to me, "Mijita," which means my little daughter in Spanish, "can you check to see if I'm up to date and still registered to vote? We need to make sure President Trump gets into office." I said, "Of course, Daddy." And I did, and I checked, and he was registered to vote. We lost a great man, April the 3rd of 2025, and that would be my daddy. Again, thank you for everything. Thank you for backing Border Patrol and ICE and backing these families. Thank you so much.
Damn, that was a bit heavy. Now, President Trump is not the best president. President Biden was not the best president. President Obama wasn't the best president. There's no such thing as the best president. No matter what anyone thinks or believes, whether you lean to the left, to the right, there is always something that we will not agree on when a president decides to take action and make implementations for this country in their way of thinking that this is for the best for the American people, the best for the world. What the American people need to understand and realize is when we have a president that's elected and they're the opposite side, we need to do everything in our power to encourage and look at the positivity of what that president is doing. And a lot of people on the right do this when there's a Democratic president. We don't have crazy protests and riots. We can have protests, but riots and burning things down because we don't agree with the opposite. And maybe in some cases that does happen, but moving forward, everybody collectively, the American people, should understand that presidents, they all have pasts just like you and I. We have all made mistakes in our past and have done things that we regret or don't agree with now that we've become older and wiser. We need to take that into consideration when we look at the president as well. You know, even people you have associated with in the past that you don't anymore today. Why don't you associate with those people? Because they decided to go down a different path. You discovered something years later that they were part of something that was very dangerous, very disgusting, and you didn't know. I mean, that's happened to me with certain friends that I used to call friends in the past that have come to find out that they have changed into certain people that are, you know, disgusting or doing very bad or wrong things that led them to their deaths or in jail. Now, do we choose to, you know, associate with them today? No. That's how we need to look at the president as well. You know, with everything that's going on with the Epstein case. Okay, oh my God, we see so many pictures of President Trump with Epstein, but that doesn't automatically make him guilty unless we have a specific picture or video showing President Trump that he has done something illegal. And I'm not saying we should be craving this from the FBI, craving this from our government. We don't want to see that. But we need to understand that that's the only proof we should be going off of, not just pictures. Because I'm sure many of you out there that have disassociated yourself with people that you used to call friends or family, you have a picture with them. And now that you have discovered that they are somebody, they have a different side to their life, are we going to base that information about you? Are you that type of person? No. And this is why we shouldn't be giving President Trump a lot of flack. He's doing everything in his power to try to make this country safe, better, prosperous for all Americans. And if you don't agree with them, wait till the next election and vote for somebody that aligns more towards your views. But right now, we have to just roll with the punches of what we have. Unless the American people are really under duress and we need to actually physically fight our government, and we are not at that moment in time. Right now, we need to be pushing our government into exposing everybody in the Epstein files to get rid of this pedophilia movement that's been going on in our government and possibly the world. There's a lot of world leaders that are probably involved in this, and so many things are pointing fingers at Israel. And in my opinion, I feel like Israel is not our ally in America. People can agree or disagree. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Till next time, peace out, everybody. This was for Charlie.